So this article that I'm going to discuss was suggested by $5 patron supporter Ernestine Wolf, and this is what you get at the $5 level. You get to suggest a topic for me to talk about. This sounds like this just happened in the last couple of days, and so I'll read the comment she posted on my Patreon page. Hi, Graham. I know I asked you to look into election rigging, but Washington State is leaking radiation, and that's not far from me. DAHB0077 has video of the collapse and says he thinks this happened during a minor quake in that region on the 5th, so it was and still is an open radioactive pit. They noticed till they noticed it in a few days later. They knew about it 20 hours before they reported it. That's not surprising. And then it was all lies and deception. This is a serious disaster that is being seriously downplayed. Hanford is a federal facility, so why isn't the Department of Energy or the EPA or any other federal agency or even Trump himself responding to concerns? Hanford is very close to the Columbia River, which flows right into the Pacific. And she sent a link to an article that I'll put below. And I have two articles here. One is the one from Raw Story that Ernestine gave to me, and then the other one that I'll be referencing is also that was in environews.tv. So here's how Raw Story's Hanford Nuclear Site accident puts focus on aging U.S. facilities. And I guess this was redone. This is a story that came out in Reuters on May 12th. So what happened is, first of all, the nuclear sites are aging. We haven't, just out of date. They haven't put money in to update them, and this is a very, very dangerous situation. There is another story that I came across that I was going to report on, but then the whole crazy stuff happened with Comey, so I haven't had a chance to get to it. But radioactive waste from the Fukushima plant in Japan, they're finding that radiation on the west coast of the United States. That happened in 2011, I believe. So this is like, and of course, and to answer your question, Ernestine, why hasn't Trump said anything about it? He doesn't give a shit about this. He's trying to force the state of Nevada to turn the Yucca Mountains back into taking more nuclear waste. He doesn't want to. This is just, he's not going to come up with this. He's not an environmental president in the least. He's all about deregulation. And what I don't understand about this, why it's so crazy, and I guess there just must be a lot of money in plutonium. Obviously there is, because the Clinton Foundation sold plutonium to Russian businessmen through their foundation. So, because there's no story about a wind turbine broke down and it's contaminating everything around it and it is a danger. There's no story about a solar panel. It fell off a roof, and unless you're directly below it when it fell, nobody gets hurt. You know, like what? Solar panels, okay, they weren't installed correctly and your roof leaks. I mean, what's the downside versus this downside, which is awful, and as stated, it flows in to the Columbia River and into the Pacific Ocean. So I'll tell you a couple quotes here why this is a serious situation. One from Robert Alvarez, a former policy advisor at the U.S. Department of Energy, who was charged with making an inventory of nuclear sites under President Bill Clinton. They're fighting a losing battle to keep these plants from falling apart. The longer you wait to deal with this problem, the more dangerous it becomes, says Alvarez, a senior scholar at the Institute for Policy Studies, where he focuses on nuclear energy and disarmament. The Energy Department did not respond to requests for comment. No radiation was released during Tuesday's incident at a plutonium handling facility in the Hanford Nuclear Reservation in Washington State, but thousands of workers were ordered to take cover and some were evacuated as a precaution. Of course they're not going to, even if there was radiation released, they're not going to announce it. They're not going to say that. Because here's the thing, and this is the same with, especially with this type of energy, but the same thing with oil and coal. If the mainstream media reports on this correctly and says, this is bad, this is dangerous, this is what's happening, then the whole country's going to go, no way, why are we doing this? I was a kid when Love Canal happened, right? In the 70s. And everyone was like, no, 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 get away from this, get away from this. So whenever these things happen, they try to keep it as quiet as possible because they know the American people would be like, wait, what? What's going on? Let me read into the EnviroNews just to give you some details about exactly what happened here. So at about 8:30 a.m. on May 9th, an emergency alert was activated at the Hanford Nuclear Reservation in southeastern Washington after a tunnel containing nuclear waste collapsed. Workers were evacuated after the tunnel, which holds rail cars full of nuclear material, suddenly gave way at the plutonium-uranium extraction facility, Purex, an area located near the center of the massive complex. No workers were harmed in the incident. The Hanford site, run by the U.S. Department of Energy, explained later this morning the alert was expanded to a site area emergency. A site area emergency is declared when the event is affecting or could potentially affect personnel beyond the facility boundary but not beyond the boundary of the Hanford site. Boy, that sounds like corporate bullshit double talk for, oh my God, this is spreading, people are in danger. The above ground area is currently being surveyed, but no radiation has been detected at this point, or none that you're reporting. The tunnel cave-in encompassed an area of approximately 400 square feet near where two of the underground tunnels meet. The soil above the incident visibly sunk between 2 and 4 feet. The accident was discovered during routine surveillance and no workers were in the tunnel at the time. CBS News reports that some employees were sent home while some were asked to secure ventilation and shelter indoors. Ugh. This is a serious situation, said Washington Governor Jay Inslee in a written statement. Ensuring the safety of the workers in the community is a top priority. Yeah, you think? Crews at Hanford are deploying a Talon, a remote-operated surveillance device that carries out radiological and industrial hygiene monitoring and also records video footage. Hanford's Emergency Operations Center released a live video about the event on Facebook Tuesday afternoon, saying the cause of the accident was unknown, that there was no evidence of radiological release. Bullshit. Established in World War II, Hanford contains about 56 million gallons of radioactive waste. Comforting, huh? The facility is famous for being the U.S. most contaminated nuclear waste storage facility, with current cleanup expected to take at least another 50 years and cost over $100 billion. Myriad radioactive leaks into groundwater have been detected over the years as the facility still struggles to ratchet down problems like the plutonium sludge leak from the double shell tank AY-102. The proper storage of the nation's backlog of nuclear waste has been a contested topic as of late, as the Trump administration looks into reinvigorating the contested Yucca Mountain, of which I said, the project in history. So this is horrifying. And if you go to the link in EnviroNews TV, you'll see links to the Yucca Mountain waste plan that Trump is trying to force into Nevada. This goes back, first of all, we have aging facilities. There's hundreds of billions of dollars that needs to be spent. And this, again, goes back to what I've been saying. We need real progressive leadership to just say, no, shut all these plants down. We are going to green energy. That's what we are doing across the board. This is dangerous. It is bad for the health of this country and of the planet. Get rid of it. It's bad. And we can have a bunch of jobs. We need real progressive leaders, not pussy-ass Democrats that are going to buckle to the energy companies and the oil companies whenever a couple of big donor checks come around. And they'll lie to themselves in the mirror and saying they're doing the good work and they'll fight for you. And this is so horrifying. Like, there isn't, you think the water in Flint's bad? Just wait till this starts happening. Like, and it's all the more reason why we need real leadership to get in there and seriously regulate this. Seriously regulate this. This is horrifying, and people have been talking about this for forever. And you look what happened in Japan, and Japan was like, yeah, I think we're kind of done with this. This is too dangerous. I live in California where there's atomic plants here, and this is an earthquake zone, just like Japan. It's horrifying. We should shut all of this down and spend every dollar we have to get it done immediately. It's horrifying, and never build another one of these again. But Trumpy wants to jump up the Cold War again so we can make more of these. And the people who make these can make more money. And the Clinton Foundation makes money from it. See, it's all a horrible, corrupt system that we need to stop. And the only way to stop it is to get behind real progressives. Maybe it's the Justice Democrats. Maybe it's Draft Bernie. Maybe it's just a third party. Maybe it's the Green Party. I don't know. But this, we can't have this anymore. This is not good for the safety of the planet Earth. And the mainstream media is not going to talk about this because who's buying their ad time? All right, guys, spread the word on this, especially if you live up in Washington. Thank you so much to Ernestine Wolf for being a $5 patron and bringing this story to my attention. I had no idea about it, and this is why I love this show and why you guys are an active part of it. You are bringing information to me that I am not aware of, that I am able to spread out to a broader audience. And we need everybody to wake up, especially on the left. We need people to wake up. Thank you for supporting this show, Ernestine, and all you other Patreon backers. This is what you get at the $5 and up level. Those of you who have not sent me topics to discuss, please check your spam folder and your inbox as I send emails out to everybody at the $5 and up level. Thank you so much for watching.